Hello, welcome to AnAuraChicBeauty channel. This is my last video for my Japanese series, and for this makeup tutorial I'm going to be using a lot of Japanese drugstore and inexpensive brands, and the overall makeup look is kind of natural and glowy and a lot of shimmery products for the eyes, cheeks, and lips, and even the skin has a little bit of a glow to it. And the eyes I'm using kind of shimmery neutral browns, and then the cheeks it's a kind of peachy coral color, and then the lips is a light pink color. And so let's get started on the makeup tutorial. To save some time, I already applied most of the face products, but I did list what I use in the information box below and on my blog. And today I use concealer first because I'm going to be using a powder foundation, and so if I apply the creamy concealer over like a powder face, then it'll be hard to blend and it'll just look a little cakey. So for today, the concealer I use is the TheBalm Time Balm Concealer in the shade Lighter Than Light. And for my under eye area, I use my M.A.C 252 brush. It's just a flat synthetic brush, and I just patted it under the eye area and then just kind of pressing it into my skin with my ring finger so that it doesn't cake up and doesn't settle into fine lines. I also use this concealer to cover blemishes and darker spots and redness around my nose. And for the spot covering, I use my M.A.C 231 brush. It's just a small, flat, kind of detailed brush, and I just apply the concealer directly on the area I want to cover and then pat it in with my finger so it blends in well. And normally this color is a little bit too light, but because I'm going to cover with foundation, the color won't really show and it'll still blend in well with my skin. Then for my foundation, today I use Mercier Mineral Foundation in the color Real Sand. And this is not the packaging that the product comes in, but I actually transferred some of the powder into this little jar when I was traveling to Japan because the full-size product is a little bit bulky, and so, just transferring some into a little jar is a lot easier. And to apply it, I use my Too Faced Retractable Kabuki brush. And again, this is great for travel. And to apply, I just simply take a little bit of the powder and kind of buff it into the inside cap, just making sure that the powder is well into the brush. And then I simply just kind of dot it all over my face to build up coverage, and then buffing it in to blend. And I also make sure to apply it over my concealer to set it, and just continue doing that until you get the desired coverage that you want. Now this foundation has a natural luminous finish to the skin, and since I'm going for a glowy look, I didn't want to set it with any powder because it'll just take that away. But if you have combination to oily skin, then you may want to, because might be a little too shiny for you, and setting it will help keep the foundation lasting a lot longer. And you can also just apply it to the T-zone area, which is the forehead, nose, and chin, which is usually where those areas get a little bit shiny throughout the day, and you can still keep that kind of glowy, luminous look on the rest of the face. And to fill in my brows, I'm using a new product. This is Eyebrow Liquid. It's by Canmake, and it's a eyebrow pen, and it has a kind of felt tip applicator. It kind of looks like a liquid eyeliner, but the pigmentation is a little bit more sheer, which is good because you don't want super dark eyebrows. And the color I'm using is number 1, which is a kind of medium taupe brown. Number 2, the other color that they have, has a little bit more of a red tone brown, which doesn't really match my brow hair color. And what's really good about this brow pen is it keeps the color lasting a lot longer on your skin. It doesn't fade and doesn't rub off. It's not waterproof, but it's just really long lasting. And these brow pens seem to be really popular in Japan. A lot of brands make these, and even Suqqu, which I used that brand before, but they obviously it's really expensive. So this is a nice alternative, cheaper brand. And so what I do to apply it is I just draw little short lines. I just start at the arch, work it down to the tail, just kind of feather it in. Then I blend it in with my eyebrow brush. And once this brow pen sets, it's kind of hard to blend and actually flakes off, so you kind of want to work quickly with it and make sure that it's blended in well. Then I brush my brow hairs with some clear brow gel just to keep it in place. For the eyes, I already applied my NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base with my finger. And so for the eyeshadow, I'm first going to use M.A.C Teta Tint. It's a matte peachy brown color. And I'm going to use my matte 224 brush to apply it. And putting it right in the crease all over. Just to give my eyes a little bit definition. And to kind of warm up the eyes. I'm also going to sweep that under the eye area, connecting it at the outer corner. Then for the rest of the eyeshadows, I'm going to be using this little palette. It's by Lavshuca. It's a company under Kanebo. And this is the Star Decoration Eyes in the set BR2. And the first color I'm going to apply is this shimmery medium taupe color. And I'm going to be using my Suqqu L brush. And I'm just going to sweep that all over the lid. I'm going to use the tip of the brush to blend the edges up to the crease. Then I'm going to use this shimmery dark brown color right here, and I'm going to use the tip of the same brush. If you don't have this brush, you can also use the M.A.C 217, which is kind of similar. It's a little bit smaller, or just any brush that you feel comfortable with. And I'm going to apply this starting at the outer corner, kind of making a diagonal line. I'm going to blend that color into the crease. I'm not going too far in because it will be a little bit too dark. I just want it to fade in naturally. It's going to stop about in the middle or 2/3 of the eye. I'm also going to blend the color out a little bit so it kind of creates a cat eye shape. It kind of elongates the eye. And I'm going to use this shimmery sandy champagne color with a flat brush to highlight the brow bone. Normally I don't like using a lot of shimmer all over the eye because I find that it reflects too much light and just doesn't give enough depth, but you can use different types of shimmer. Some can be a little bit glittery and more metallic, and or even have like a satin finish where it's a little bit more matte. And depending on where you put it on the eye, like the lid, crease, things like that, it can look okay. You just want to make sure that it's not all frosty shimmer and it's not all in the light tone, because again, it's just not going to give a lot of depth to the eye. And so, but this look is, shimmery, but it also has a lot of kind of darker colors in the crease, so it gives a lot of dimension. Now I'm going to apply my eyeliner, and today I'm using Canmake Gel Eyeliner in number 1. It's a basic black color, and one of the reasons why I bought this eyeliner is more for the packaging, because on the top of the cap, there is a little brush inside, and you basically just kind of push it into the top like that, and you can apply your liner on the go. This is really great for travel, and I think the eyeliner is pretty nice. It's supposed to be waterproof, tear-proof, and rub-proof, and it does last long on the eyes pretty well, and the color is really nice black color. The only kind of negative thing I have to say about it is that the pot hole is kind of small, and so it's a little bit difficult to get product out. Kind of have to dig it in there, but the brush is nice as well. It's just a flat liner brush, and so yeah, I really like this liner because maybe it's great to travel with. You just want to make sure that you clean your brush every time you use it, otherwise it'd be difficult to apply liner with. And so I'm going to apply this liner to the top waterline first. Just kind of slide it in there, right under the lashes. I'm also going to apply it to the top lash line, and you can make this as thin or as thick as you want. You can even wing it out if you want to. I'm also going to apply it on the bottom waterline and lash line, and making it kind of thicker at the outer corner, about 2/3 of the eye. Then And using the same dark brown color that I use in the crease, but with a small smudge brush, I'm going to kind of set the liner on the lower lash line. I'm just kind of softening it. Then with the same shadow and brush that I used to highlight the brow bone, I'm going to highlight the inner corner. And because I used a lot of dark liner all around the eye, I want to actually pull this light color towards the bottom liner about a third of the way. And this will help to really open up the eyes. And the last eyeshadow I'm going to apply is this pale kind of glittery pink, and I'm going to use the same small flat brush, and I'm just going to apply it to the center of the lid, and it's supposed to give a kind of three-dimensional look to the eye, kind of highlight the lid and, you know, brighten it. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to kind of pat it in there, blend it out a little bit. It's very subtle, but it just gives a little bit more shimmer to the eyes. Then the false lashes I'm using today is by Decorative Eyelash, number TN40596. It doesn't have any name, it's just numbers. And I bought this at a kind of pharmacy drugstore in Japan, and so they're really cheap, and it actually comes with 5 pairs, so it's a really great deal. And it looks dramatic, but it's actually pretty natural when I wear it. And I actually layer 2 pairs together because one doesn't really, you know, show very well. It doesn't, it's not dramatic enough for me. I like it to have a little bit of thickness and volume, and it's only the base of the lash that has a little bit of the volume, the little short hairs, and then the rest of it is just really long and natural and kind of fine. So that's why I wanted to layer 2 pairs, and you know, it's a really great deal for 5 pairs of lashes, but because it's cheap, it's kind of like a plastic lash, so it's kind of stiff to use. It's a little bit difficult to apply, so you kind of have to bend them a little and play with them to apply it. And for the lash glue today, I'm using this Kiss Me Heroine M.A.C eyelash fixer. Again, this is also from the drugstore, so it's really cheap. And what's kind of nice about this eyelash glue is it has a little brush applicator, so it makes it easy to apply. You just kind of paint it on to the band of the lash, and it's a little bit kind of a more watery, thinner formula than other lash glues that I've used, but it actually holds the lashes well into the skin, and it, you know, doesn't fall off or anything. So I'm going to be applying my false lashes off camera, and then I'll do the cheek color and lip color. And for the cheek color, I'm first going to use Canmake Cream Cheek in number 7, Coral Orange. And normally I don't like using cream blushes over a powdered face because it can look a little cakey and be hard to blend. But this one is really creamy and smooth, and it kind of has like a gel cream formula. It doesn't really dry to a powder finish, so it's just, you know, a lot easier to blend. And so I just use my fingers to apply, just kind of swirl it in there, pick up the product, and I'm going to apply it first kind of the apple of the cheek. Just kind of pat and blend all over the cheek area, kind of up to the cheekbone. And it looks really bright at first, but as you blend it, it shears out. And you can use your other finger to blend the edges. And on top of the cream blush, I'm going to use another Canmake product. This is the Cheek Gradation in number 2, Orange Strip. And it has 3 blush colors and then a highlight color. So I just take my blush brush and kind of swirl in all 3 colors, like that. And then I'm going to apply it right on top of the cream blush, starting at the back, and then blending it onto the apples of the cheeks. Wearing a powder blush over a cream blush helps keep the color lasting a lot longer. Then using the tip of the brush, I'm going to pick up the highlight shade, just a little bit, and I'm going to apply it to the cheekbone area to highlight. I'm going to blend it down to the blush. Then to contour and warm up the cheeks, I'm going to use Guerlain Terracotta Bronzing Powder in number 3. And it has like a satin finish, so it has a little bit of a glow to the skin. And it's a little bit more of a warmer, kind of orangey bronzer. It's not too orangey, just adds a little bit more warmth. And I'm going to use my Paula Dove cheek brush. This is one of the first brushes, expensive brushes that I bought when I first started, buying makeup, and it's a really nice soft brush, and it has a nice angled tip, so it's great for contouring. And so I'm just going to apply it right under the cheekbone, right where I'm going to contour. And slightly blend it onto the cheeks a little bit. And with the other left, you can apply it to the temple, and then under the jaw. And for the lips, I'm going to use M.A.C Cream Stick Liner in Sublime Culture. It's a kind of pinky beige color, and I'm going to define and fill in the entire lip area. And on top of the lip pencil, I'm going to use Shiseido Integrate Glamour Rouge in the color PK281. It's just a light pink color, and the overall gloss is nothing that special. It's just like a regular lip gloss, but I mainly bought it because of the packaging, because instead of a brush or a sponge tip applicator, it comes with a kind of flat spatula type applicator, and so you just click the bottom to get out the product, and it just comes right out at the tip. And so the kind of flat spatula applicator applies the lip gloss a little bit more smoothly. It doesn't get it all streaky, and so I'm just going to apply this all over the lip. And that's it for the look. I know some of the products that I use might be hard to find because they're only sold in Japan, but there are some websites online that you can shop for Japanese makeup brands. You just kind of have to look around, but you can always recreate this look using whatever you have. And I hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.